You're running as first-team punt returner in practice now. How did this come about? Did they reach out to you, or did you go to the coaches and volunteer? How did you end up doing this?
Kind of a mutual thing, man. Honestly, I get out here early regardless, before I even became a punt returner. And I would always just catch up with the guys, help the kickers out and things like that. And Coach Gans noticed I was pretty good at catching them and looking it in and things like that. And so fast forward a couple of days, and during camp when JR went down and things like that, they just needed somebody to step up. So I started working in the rotation and whatnot, and just improving day to day. And Coach Gans, he started trusting me and giving me an opportunity to do it in practice. And day by day, he noticed I was getting better and better. So they came up to me and just told me I really didn't have a choice. So I accepted the role. I did it in high school before and things like that, so it's nothing foreign to me. But it's a fun gig, and it's a big gig, and I accept it and do whatever I got to do to help the team out, and that's what they asked me to do, so I'm going to do it.
All right, obviously you do drills with the defensive backs every day. How is it different catching the ball when it's coming out of the sky on a punt as opposed to Coach Odom throwing it to you on DB drills or coming out of the jugs machine?
It's definitely a lot different, man, because it's coming out of a quarterback's hand, anybody's hand. You can see the spin on it. You can tell where it's going when that ball is kicked. I mean, it's 1,000,001 things that they can do while it's up in the air, and you just have to trust your technique and a lot of repetition. Before and after practice, catching thousands and thousands of balls, so it becomes natural. So you can read the spin off the kick and things like that, to where you know where it's going to land. And also credit a little bit to a baseball background growing up. Played baseball a lot, and I was outfielder, so so just like catching a pop fly almost. Getting your feet set, getting underneath the ball, and just looking it all the way in, and letting the rest happen after that.
You hear outfielders talk about being able to read the ball as it comes off the bat, not only direction but distance.
Correct.
Is it the same sort of thing? Can you read a punt the second it comes off a guy's foot?
Definitely. That's what Coach Gans always coaches. He said, get to a point on the field, where you can read the ball off the foot, because that's going to give you the best jump. And as soon as you read it off the foot, locate where you think it's going to go, sprint over there, and then adjust as while you're there. So, that's what I try and do. I try and focus in on it, clear my mind right before the kick, and just see it off the foot, and adjust there, and just try and look it all the way in.
Coach Gans and probably every other special teams coach out there will always say the first thing is catching the ball.
Oh, definitely.
That comes before everything else, obviously. What's it like when you're standing back there, the ball's up in the air, and you're trying to balance making this catch, but also seeing where the coverage is coming as 10 guys come down trying to take your head off?
Correct.
Is there a checklist you go through?
I definitely, our main objective is to catch the ball. You can definitely tell, if, based on the hang time, reading off the foot where it's going to kind of land, and you can kind of tell where you're at on the field, if you're going to get hot coverage down the field fast or things like that. So there's a checklist that you go through that you can get a good read of how much time you have. Hang time is a good indicator of how much time you have, if you want to fair catch it or run with it after the catch. But like I said, the most important thing is definitely catching the ball first, because you can't do anything without that. So I definitely try and get that in. Over the course of repetitions and practice and stuff like that, you get a feel for it. It's kind of just like a sixth sense that you have, that you kind of know where you're at, where the coverage is coming from, and then you just react after that, man.
Is this every defensive player's dream, to be able to get back there and get the ball in your hand a few times a game?
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. It's definitely growing up a kid, you see that. I mean, you want those type of moments where the ball's in your hand, all eyes on you. But I definitely humble myself and try and work hard at it. So when I do get in games, or whenever my number is called, it's nothing foreign to me. Like I said, it is a fun experience and things like that. But it's also a big experience. A lot of things can go wrong, but you don't want to think about those. You just want to think about your technique, repetition, and just go out there and just have fun at the end of the day, man. That's what it's all about. So it's definitely fun, and a lot of guys like to do it and things like that. But a lot of guys don't get the opportunity to do it. So it's kind of a cool thing when coaches looked at me and gave me that responsibility. So I took it and ran with it.
You said you returned punts in high school. Did you take any back for scores?
I did. I took one back my junior year. That was in a scrimmage, so I don't know if you can technically count that. And then we kind of same thing happened here. We had a couple of injuries and stuff like that, so they wanted me to keep me from back there from doing that. And in high school, balls come crazy out there, man. So it's not the best part. You want one of your guys back there at. So we'll say, like I said, I also related to catching baseballs. I did that since I was 4 years old, and it's a lot like that, man. So at the end of the day, football, just catch it, man, and have fun after that, I guess.
Is there a difference in the feeling whether you take a punt and return it a long way versus get an interception and return a long way?
No, I think it's about equal feeling, man. They're both big game changers, and those are both exciting plays, and both plays you dream about. You know, you play the game for, and you wait for that one moment to get it and run with it, man. So it's a good feeling to kind of have that ball in your hands, and you know, as defensive guys, you don't get that feeling every play. So when you finally get it, it's a great feeling, man. So you try to make the most of it because you don't know when you're gonna get it again.
At safety, obviously, you're trying to lay a big hit on guys when they get the ball coming over the middle or coming into your part of the field. As punt returner, you're back there with 10 or 11 guys coming down trying to take your head off. Is there an element of fear involved or nervousness when you're waiting on that ball to come down?
When you can't have that back there. I mean, you got to have ice water in your veins. You got to just go back there and just go back to your fundamentals, man. You got to trust the 10 guys in front of you that they're going to block for you, man. They're going to set their all out to give you space and protect you, man. So I think if you let fear creep in, that's when you start to overthink things and stuff like that. And there's a difference between having the fear of getting blown up or having that anxiety or that anxiousness to just get back there and catch it. So I think that's a little difference, but I definitely don't want to have fear back there. If anything, I'm more so excited to get back there and finally get my hands on it. And like I said, it's all about trust. I trust those 10 guys in front of me that they're going to do all that it takes to keep me protected. And at the end of the day, just try and avoid as many guys as I can. And but I've been playing the game long enough. I know what it feels like to get hit as well as hit others. So I'll be prepared for it, I believe.
Do you allow yourself to think about getting into the end zone and got a celebration planned yet?
Oh no, I'm not too much of a celebrator. Coach Gans always tells us to act like you've been there before. So that's what I try and do, man. Just even though I haven't been there quite often, I don't think I've been there in my college career, but I've been there before in my lifetime. So you just gotta act like you've been there before, man, and get the ball back and get ready for the next play, man.